Right now on the Plus, severe weather calming down after an afternoon of strong wind and heavy rain. Meteorologist Jen Delgado is here tracking it all. Plus, more than a dozen people injured after a multi-car crash that split a Tesla Cybertruck clean in half. We've got some stunning images for you and the latest updates from officials out in Silver Spring. Plus, 2 U.S. troops have been killed. One is still missing tonight after Iran attacked a base in Jordan. More on the growing tension there in the region. Fox 5 News on the Plus starts right now. But first, tonight at 8, skies are finally clearing up after severe weather passed through our area earlier today. Taking a live look now at conditions with lingering air quality alerts still from those Canadian wildfires. Meteorologist Jen Delgado here now to break it down for us tonight. Things really are looking better.
Yeah, they are. You know, we had some stronger storms earlier today and even a tornado warning. Now we're left with quiet weather, but we still could see a few more storms popping up as we go later on into the evening. And again, some of those storms will develop to the northwest and then move down towards us. So that's why we cannot go completely dry for tonight. But Sunday, you're going to like it. The weather is going to be so much nicer outside. We will have lower humidity, and then we will also have dry conditions setting up for your Sunday, and then cooler temperatures will return, meaning we're going to be back into the mid to upper 80s. This is the view in Gaithersburg before we have our sunset. Notice we've got the clouds around, but the roadways are dry. We did get some heavier rainfall around earlier today, and as we look outside, our winds right now from the southwest at 14 miles per hour. Our temperature 81 degrees, and it feels like 85. So yes, there's certainly some steaminess out there. Today we got to 95, which is pretty impressive. We're 5 degrees above the average, and we picked up 0.15-inch rainfall out at the airport. So this is what's left after a very active afternoon. Now notice we still have some areas of light green that indicates the lighter rainfall, but as we zoom into the D.C. area, some showers trying to depart out of the Beltway over towards the east, and it will continue to weaken, but we still have a cold front to our west, and that is what's going to bring us a chance again for some more storms to fire up ahead of that. You notice that we are locked in the clouds for tonight. And if you're looking at the yellow watch box in effect, we don't have any watches in effect for our region. We did have a flood watch as well, in addition to a tornado watch. But now this is all that's left. We'll be looking at the severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Pennsylvania. And there's our cold front. Once it comes through, we will have high pressure building back in, and then we will see nice weather around for tomorrow. And even Monday looks to be pretty nice as well. 79 degrees right now in Manassas, 80 degrees in Quantico. We look ahead for our planner tonight. Off and on showers possible, maybe a thunderstorm closer to the 10 o'clock hour up to 12. It's pushing it a little bit later, but the morning starts off with the clouds, and then tomorrow afternoon, high temperature of 87 degrees. That's almost 10 degrees cooler than what we were today. And of course, with the lower humidity, it's going to make it feel even more comfortable outside. We're going to talk more about that and the potential for some more of that wildfire smoke for your Sunday.
Lower humidity sounds good, Jen. Thank you. But now a wild crash in Montgomery County leaves a trail of wrecked cars, including, get this, a Cybertruck that was split clean in half. Fox 5's Regina Rita is live in Silver Spring now with how it all unfolded. Regina, some crazy images.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll get to that in just a second. But Sydney, 10 people were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. It's hard to believe that nobody was seriously hurt. Thankfully, that is the case. But these were multiple cars that were hit and were severely damaged. Now, take a look at those images. The impact was so powerful, it ripped a Cybertruck in half. Montgomery County Fire and Rescue, police and paramedics rushed to the scene. There's aerial footage capturing the emergency response, the wreckage, and the backups that followed. Now, investigators say just before 2 p.m., a moving truck lost control on Columbia Pike and Fairland Road, crashing into at least 10 cars. More than a dozen people were evaluated after some became trapped inside their cars. 10 people, including 3 children, were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Investigators are now working to determine what caused the truck to lose control. But in the meantime, here's how residents are reacting to this.
Thank God everybody survived, you know. That was terrible. That was a terrible accident. So I'm just glad everybody's survived. It is ongoing traffic, but it's much controlled, you know.
Now, right now, the scene has cleared up. Roads are back open to the public. We did reach out to authorities, but so far, no further updates at this time. Back to you.
Thank God everyone's all right. Regina, thank you. Now to some other top stories tonight. A Maryland family is left with $850,000 in damages after a lightning strike hit their home. Take a look at these pictures. That strike ignited a massive fire at the property on Warfield Road just before 5 this morning, displacing a family of 5. Montgomery County fire officials say residents smelled the smoke first, went outside, and then saw that fire burning on the roof. Thankfully, though, no one there was injured. Gas-powered leaf blowers have an expiration date now in Arlington. The county board just voted to ban leaf blowers by 2029, but the board is also reserving the option to move that date up and ban those leaf blowers by January of 2028. The leaf blowers are considered a noise issue and a health issue because of their exhaust. Turning our attention now to the Middle East, the U.S. military says new airstrikes will be launched at Iran following the deaths of 2 American service members in Jordan. Tonight, 1 is still missing and 4 others are in the hospital. Fox's Lucas Tomlinson has the latest now from Tel Aviv.
Strikes between the U.S. and Iran continued for a 7th straight day on Saturday, with an Iranian official saying the country is suspending an interim agreement signed by both sides last month. The recent barrage of attacks revolve around the ongoing fight for control of the critical Strait of Hormuz, as open access to the waterway was a key point in the temporary peace deal for the U.S.
It is condition-based, based on the enemy and what we're achieving in terms of our goals.
While the U.S. continues to target key Iranian surveillance and military sites, Iran has stepped up its own attacks across the region. Authorities in Kuwait say Iran attacked its desalination and power plants on Saturday, which could threaten drinking water and supplies across the country. And U.S. Central Command says 2 U.S. service members were killed and 1 remains missing, following Iranian strikes on a military base in Jordan on Friday.
There's risk to our military that's in the region, but I also think it makes it unbelievably plain to the world that you have to win this.
It also comes as Iran has threatened to ramp up strikes in recent days.
If the U.S. attacks continue for another 2 or 3 days, we will enter a phase of full-scale offensive.
It remains unclear how long either side plans to keep up the attacks, as tensions around the strait continue to increase.
The Straits of Hormuz is Iran's #1 strategic asset. It used to be nuclear weapons, but their nuclear enterprise is buried under a mountain of rubble.
It's the first time American service members have been killed in action since March 1st. In Tel Aviv, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
President Trump will back Darlene Graham, Lindsey Graham's sister, if she runs to replace her late brother in the Senate. She was sworn into the role following his sudden death last week. The president on social media urged her to run and said she'll have his complete endorsement if she does. Funeral plans for Lindsey Graham are now public. There will be a service in D.C. that's Tuesday the 28th, followed by another in South Carolina the next day. The Department of Homeland Security is now threatening states with new so-called election integrity measures. Secretary Markwayne Mullin is ordering governors to sign on to a new election monitoring program or risk losing federal funding. This follows President Trump's address to the nation earlier this week, where he claimed without evidence that countries like China attempted to rig the 2020 election.
We're saying that the machines had to be secured and that your voter registration list needs to be scrubbed. We need to make sure that individuals that are legally able to vote are voting.
When he loses, as he's going to do in November, he can say, well, we've got new evidence of what I told you about in July.
Trump claims China hacked voter data. Beijing calls those allegations baseless, though. Democrats are also pushing back now, arguing that this is another early effort to undermine election results in the November midterms. Outrage this weekend following 2 recent deadly ICE agent shootings in Houston and in Maine. Here's a look at a rally in New York City earlier. Protesters are demanding justice for Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, the Mexican citizen killed in Houston during a traffic stop, and also for Johan Duran Guerrero, who was shot 4 times during a traffic stop in Bedford, Maine. Protesters say the Trump administration must end its escalating immigration enforcement campaign. Just yesterday, Democratic lawmakers asked for answers on DHS's vetting and training process for ICE agents. Democrats say they want an investigation now into DHS, adding the officers must be held accountable. The man accused of murdering his 3-month-old daughter will stand before a grand jury on Monday. Fairfax County police say 28-year-old Misael Lopez Gomez admitted to attacking his own child for personal pleasure back in March. She was taken to the hospital and died from blunt force trauma. Gomez is also accused of illegally entering the country back in 2023. The man found guilty of killing his wife and another man is now filing an appeal. The development comes just weeks after Brendan Banfield was sentenced to life in prison without parole in the killings of his wife Christine and Joseph Ryan, a man he lured to his Fairfax County home in 2023. No other details about the appeal filed in Fairfax County Circuit Court have been made public. His sentence remains in place amid the appeals process. So to come in your news at 8, thousands of educators get together in D.C. to talk about the future of teaching. We're going to tell you what the topic of discussion was today. Parents, you want to see that right after this break. Plus, Ukraine launches one of its deadliest attacks on Russia in the last 2 years. We've got details on that drone strike right after this quick break.